I started to resent having somebody tell me exactly when I had to be at work, how much I could earn. I was desperate to do something for myself.
I sat back, last year and thought, what if? And I then realised, what if I was made redundant? Answer, I'd have no money, have no house, had to sell my car, I wouldn't have anything.
I was always in the office for 7:30, very latest 8, because that's when you got work done before everybody arrived, and usually, if not the last to leave, one of the last to leave.
I think his words went something like this, Peter, look, he said, if you put as much as you can into a pension fund until you're 65, and you're prepared to live a bit quietly, you'll be all right. Now, that wasn't quite the plan that we had in mind. Living a bit quietly didn't go down all that well. So we were left scratching our heads and totally wondering what to do.
Well, I began working in local government in 2005, and I was led to believe when I first joined local government there was this kind of feeling that you get good pensions because you're working in local government, and you've got a job for life because you're in local government. Well, actually, the reality is that as we've gone through the last 2 to 3 years, I've found that actually, no, your job is possibly not for life. You don't actually know it's going to end at a particular point, but I just get this feeling that there's a talk of, you could be redundant at any point.
Work was always first. That was the top of my agenda, to make sure that everything else fit into place as far as the family were concerned. But I suppose the more involved I got and the more accomplished I got in the business, I realised that the balance was wrong, and I wanted to spend more time with my girls.
I'm a solicitor by profession, so I was working in a law firm, and I was dealing with family law. I was in debt, and I needed extra money. I didn't know any different. I was still doing my PhD, and I was going around in circles, and I saw this as a way out.
Mary had a very good job with an independent schools organisation, and she was sort of Deputy General Secretary. And I was running my own business within Dale Carnegie. Now, we got married to actually spend time with each other. And when you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, as we were, well, I certainly was, there's no fun left. You get together and you're completely shattered.
I was a hospital doctor in the NHS. I thought that it would be great. I'd be helping people with their health problems, and I'd have all the time to actually, go full circle. I don't know if that makes sense, but really get into the root of someone's problem, really feel like I'd help them, send them off on their way, and then, help the next person. I didn't imagine that there'd just be so many constraints.
I was in a job that I wasn't enjoying, and I did have a lot of the debt from travelling building up, and it was always in my back of my mind, how could I pay for all of this? And also, in the front of my mind, how could I keep on travelling?
When I saw the opportunity and the flexibility and the ability to work at something now that would then give me the time and the freedom, for me that was just a big moment for me. I remember it as if it was yesterday, just thinking there is a way.
I saw a way to generate an income. I thought it was possible. I thought it seemed simple, which excited me as well, because I'm a simple guy.
I just saw something and I thought, well, even if it just brings in a bit of extra money, then that's still going to help. And then gradually, as I got more and more into the business, my vision, if you like, started to expand, and I could see more and more. And after a few months of starting to build my business, I could see that actually this could be a definite way out of the day job, and not just extra money.
I wanted something that would allow me to be at home, but still to be able to earn a decent income. And I never really wanted to be spending my money on childcare when I wanted to be looking after them myself anyway.
I wanted my own house. I'd lived in rented accommodation or accommodation that went with the job all my life. And for me, I wanted my own house. I wanted my own house. I wanted to educate my children. I wanted the kind of life that other people were having. And I felt very often I was like on the outside looking in and thinking, how can I have that?
The dominant thing had always been worrying about money, worrying about meeting the bills, worrying about Christmas, worrying about being able to afford a very modest holiday. So I just thought there must be a magic point you reach where you no longer have to worry about money. I didn't know what it was. I hadn't got a clue what it was because I never reached it.
I work in computers. I help small businesses and home users with their computers. My father's always had 2 or 3 jobs to get us through education and so on. So I just hoped that life would be very different for me and I'd be a bit easier. You're having to work really hard, and yes, you get paid, and yes, you work and you get your money, but you've still got to do it this next day. Doesn't make you smile, just makes you live.
In the beginning, when we started on our own, farming was pretty good and people were doing okay. But then it started to go downhill. Incomes were falling beyond our control, market forces beyond our control. We were working harder, long hours, but not making as much money. We weren't getting the profits, the turnovers. And we had to think of other things.